All you ever wanna do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke,
Yeah,
real
well,
mode.
we can hold the peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a crew name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sacred Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest, and I'm tired of niggas. They front they blessings, they want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I'd like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transfer to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king and apology.
You about to see a new side of me, I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empires fall, my legacy grows. I might just hop on this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul. Ebony ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do. We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. You really have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn that you can't pretend to be a king? It ends today.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 20 hundo and 60 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everesting K2 Flexin on all you Yeah. What's going on, fam? Welcome to the Daily Swole Podcast. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I am very glad that you are here with us today. And of course, the Mancast is available on every single audio platform known to mankind. Let's get a little golf clap around there. Make sure you are leaving us a review. By the way, brand new review feature on Spotify. So make sure you leave us 5 stars if you enjoy the show. And check out all the live stream links, thedailyswole.com, where you can find all the links to all the live stream channels and hit those notifications and hit the bell and make sure that you are notified. But of course, if you want priority notifications for all the live streams, join the fam today over there at swolenormousx.com. Get instant access to Swole Text and the Telegram alerts, the Discord alerts. You will get notified before every single live stream, so you'll never miss a single episode live of your favorite Mancast, the serendipity of catching us all live. What's going on, Glowing Artiste, Tyler, Elif? What's going on, Joe, Cerny, Davey, Jeremy, Chip? Oh my God, Kim, we are all here. Sit and spin. What's up, Judith, Jennifer, Bunny Love, Danny? We are got everyone in the house today. Now, today is Ask Papa Swolio Live, a little bit of a different flow because we have a big week. We have our Swole New Year party on Wednesday. I'm trying to get my in focus a little bit. Swole New Year party on Wednesday. There we go. On Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So that's going to be a very special event for members only. So make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you are joining the fam today. You get access to all the live streams with all memberships. So go and check us out. SwoleNormousX.com. It's Fuck Your Resolution season. It has been for a while. And now is the time to put those resolutions in the trash basket where they belong, because they are a huge dumpster fire. And that's not what's going to get you results. You know what will get you results? The 7 fucking pillars. So go and learn more, download your copy, join the fam today, swolenormousx.com. We got a great show. We got awesome questions. We're going to jump right into it. Today is just pure questions. We'll take a bunch and you'll all be released shortly to go make some sick fucking gains. But before we do, we got to bust the nut open and we'll get those questions going. Here we go, fam. Summon the Falcon. It is time. Falcon. Put some respect on it. Boosh.
USA, greatest country in the world.
Very nice. Fuck Your Resolution season. It's the FYR card has returned. Leo drinking like a raging alcoholic. Put the sparkling bone broth down, bro. Put it down, put it down, put it down. Just stop drinking every fucking day. Maybe it's a protein shake. Maybe it's a protein shake. Maybe. I doubt it. That's why Rose let go. We all know. We all know the truth. All right. Fuck your resolutions. Hashtag FYR for a chance to win today's Swole card. Yeah. Now let's get into the questions. So if you got questions, I probably have an answer that may or may not offend you, that you may or may not like to hear, but I do have response for most of your questions. use it in the comments down below, the hashtag AskPapaSwolio, for a chance to be featured here on the live stream and the live chat. And again, make sure you hit that like button, drop some comments, some biceps and gorillas down below, and that hashtag will give away that Swole card at the end of today's episode. Shall we take the first question? I think we shall.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? All right, this is from Stream Draco. Steam Draco, not Stream Draco. Steam Draco. I'd like to add yoga to my workouts. Where do I begin? Well, do we have an answer for you? I would recommend going to links.papaswolio.com and trying a free class. In that link list, you'll see a link for a free class. Try it out. I would also recommend looking at our unlimited memberships over there at SwoleNormousX.com, because yes, you could find many free classes on YouTube. You could just Google it and you'll pull up some kind of random class. It may be good, it may not be good. You may not be properly progressed. It may be too advanced for you, it may be too easy for you. Bottom line, we have an entire yoga studio inside SwoleNormousX. So we have over 230 yoga classes, and this is a question. This isn't just a shameless pitch for the greatest fucking fam in the realm, SwoleNormousX and the SwoleFam. But we have everything that you need for yoga. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because it's very important to begin with a proper class, like a starter class. Maybe you might need a chair yoga class if you are very obese or you have any kind of physical limitations. You may be ready for a level 1 class. You need to make sure you're executing it properly. So the only people that I trust personally for yoga instruction and for full yoga classes are our instructors in X. Now, it doesn't mean that no one else in the world knows yoga, that's for sure. But it's important to have all the frameworks that allow you to progress properly. It's very important to have an instructor that knows how to properly progress or regress a pose, depending on your mobility issues. Maybe a pose causes you discomfort. Maybe you need to adjust and modify a movement. And it's very important to have the classes and the tools and the knowledge and the expertise in order to guide you so you are challenged, but not overly challenged. And it's very simple. It's very easy to go to a yoga class, even an all levels class in person, for example, and kind of get thrown into the mix too much and maybe be rushed along. So any good instructor will tell you to drop into child's pose or shavasana or downward dog or some kind of resting pose when you feel like you're being a little bit overwhelmed, and just join the class as necessary. But there's always those instructors that kind of are pushing you and kind of make it a little bit more, or a little bit too boot camp-esque. So it's very important to have a class that's more tailored to your needs. And we take care of all of that progressive yoga protocols inside our yoga studio. So definitely check us out. If you're going to a studio in person, I would recommend going to an all levels class. Maybe talk to the instructor, talk to the owner before you sign up, and see how a brand new beginner, what they would recommend for someone who's never practiced yoga. Maybe there's a certain class that is generally better or more geared towards complete beginners. Sometimes all levels classes are, depending on who's going to the class. If it's a smaller studio, then you might have a lot of regulars, and they might have more progressed all levels classes than for entry level. But it's very important to understand that there are many different types of yoga. There are many different instructors out there. So you have to find the class and the instruction that clicks with you. And I definitely recommend you checking out our yoga studio, because one of the benefits of what we do in SwoleNormousX is that we have all the classes that you can repeat and take again over and over again. And one of the things with a in-person class is that's always a little bit different. You're always going to get a little bit of a different class. You're not necessarily going to be able to notice the progressions or execute the same kind of movement pattern over and over again, because the class will change with every single session. So inside the yoga studio in X, you can literally repeat the literal exact same class. It's just the video. You just replay the video. So you're able to actually practice the same move, the same tempo, the same flow, and really get mastery of that sequence of movements. If there's something that's really sticky for you, you can pause the video, you can replay it. So it allows you to really hammer out the same type of repetitions and the same type of flow to get through those sticking points when you find a class that really unlocks something that is challenging for you. So round of applause for our instructors inside SwoleNormousX, and very proud of you, Steam Draco, for Steam Draco, for looking into yoga. So definitely look for that in a local studio, like I mentioned, or check out our free classes and join the fam and do yoga at home whenever you want at your convenience. Let's see. Good thing about in-person classes, they can help correct form. Yeah, if you have a good instructor. Honestly, some yoga instructors are not that great, and they're not good at cueing. They're not really great at correcting form. So that is a general benefit. Of course, being in person is hopefully you have someone who's very good at correcting form. So that's a plus. But of course, if you have a quality instructor teaching classes, even in video, they will be correcting your form and they'll be guiding you with proper cues as well. So it shouldn't make much of a difference, but in person, some people just like that vibe better. But the problem that I've always found with in-person classes is that it's a time suck. It's a time suck. You have to go and drive to the place. You have to wait for the class to start. You have to wait for it to end. Sometimes you're in a sweaty room around tons of people, which you might like, you might not like. You might like the energy more. You might not like it. You have to find the right spot, your favorite spot in the classroom, and sometimes you're moved around, and sometimes there's a distraction, or I don't know. You want to make sure you're able to do it. Some people like that, some people don't. Bottom line, whatever keeps you consistent. So there's something for everyone out there, for sure. All right, Fat to Fit Gabby, Papa Swolio, from the live chat. I have a huge problem with giving into my cravings for processed sweet junk treats. Water, yogurt, and fruit doesn't help it go away. What should I do when these cravings suddenly hit me? I mean, what do you have? Like, what's going on here? You shouldn't have any of that food in your vicinity. So if it's at your home, you have to throw it out. You should not keep any of this stuff around you. I don't know anything else. That's very general. Most people have these kinds of impulse cravings out of bad habits and improper nutrition, sleep, hydration. So you might be thirsty. You might not be getting enough sleep. Water, yogurt, and fruit wouldn't really help it go away. All these things aren't going to help it go away just because junk food is saturated with fats, salt, and sugar. And these things that aren't found combined in nature with a purpose. It's designed to get you to not stop eating them. It's designed to kind of supersede those evolutionary triggers and to hijack your brain. So they're meant to get you to crave them. They're made that way so you can't stop eating them. You notice how food in nature, you don't find fat, sweet, and salty in one item. It's usually a carbohydrate, or it's fat and it's protein. Like, those things are usually separate. So you're not going to find that kind of combination, which is why when it's put in this combination of foods and processed junk food, you're not able to shut those circuits off. It fucks with your biology. So it's all about the habits. What's leading you to that? Probably boredom, or you're not hydrating enough, or you are putting yourself in those positions that you're going to be struggling to make those decisions. You're spending time with people that are eating that kind of stuff. I'm not sure what your daily flow is of that, but you should either meditate, drink some water, go exercise, go for a walk. You're probably not hungry. You're just trying to... Your body is just going to be snapping back into those old habits, those old triggers of smelling a certain thing and reacting a certain way. There's more to it than that. It's not just like, there's not a simple answer for that question, but it's all about keeping things in your vicinity, what your environment is like, what your hydration, nutrition, and sleep protocols are like. If you're very stressed out, a lot of these issues, lack of sleep, lack of hydration, high stress, will trigger your body. You'll find more of those impulses for those simple pleasure foods. Papa Swolio, how do you think 2022 will turn out in terms of what? Time will move forward the way it always has. It'll be fine. I mean, it'll be more of the same. Like, what do you mean? How will it turn out? Let's see. Maxwell, I just ordered a pair of 15-pound kettlebells. 15 pounds. I haven't dived into the kettlebell workouts on X yet. Do you have any workouts that do movements with 2 kettlebells at once? Mostly one, mostly a single. 15-pound kettlebells are super light, but you can probably do some mobility, at least with one of them. A super light kettlebell is nice for like mobility. But I believe the Swollen 7s they're all single dumbbell, single kettlebell. You might have some double moving forward. Most people have one, so just kept it to one. I believe they're all one single kettlebell, but we can always expand. 15 pounds might be good for some mobility, but 15 pounders are pretty light. But you could do them with curls and stuff too. You can do some other exercise with with 15 pounders. Did you get other weights too? I have doubles. I have doubles of what? I have doubles of 35. I have 16, 20, and 22. I have 153. I didn't get 253s. I might get another one. I got a bunch of singles when I first got them, and I usually just double up afterwards. Sometimes I like to do 2 kettlebells for whatever reason, whether it's a curl or a press or certain movements, but I usually do single kettlebell training. I like that for the stability of the body. I like single kettlebell work in general. Mike, I got suspended for 24 hours for saying Merry Swoleness. I hate Facebook. You should make a formal complaint. For what? Who am I going to complain to? Merry Swoleness. How does that get suspended? How does that make you suspended? A formal complaint. I don't even know what to do. What do I do? What would I do? Facebook. Yeah, Facebook for the live streams blocks so much shit. You'll get flagged for everything. That's why you just go watch on YouTube. Go watch on YouTube. Papa Swole, I got a workout bench for Christmas. Are you happy for me? I absolutely am. I absolutely am. Good for you. Nothing like a solid workout bench. I just got another bench recently too. I got a straight flat bench that I can elevate on blocks and plates so I can do seal rows. It's fucking awesome. I did them yesterday. Sick. Love it. Love it, love it. Let's see. Maxwell, follow-up. What would be good weights to get? The brand I'm grabbing is in pounds. Usually for dudes that lift. So if you're thinking in pounds, it's a 16 kilogram, which is 35 pounds. The 24, the 53 is a good one. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. It really depends. You can grab really light kettlebells and do mobility stuff and rotational work. There's nothing wrong with lighter kettlebells, but depends on the type of kettlebell. If the window, like if it's a high quality kettlebell, you know, the windows can change the size of the handle. Sometimes they're thinner, sometimes they're wider. You want to get a reputable brand. That way you're getting a quality handle. You're getting a quality handle. It's going to be machined properly and it's going to have the proper distance and the space. If they're too small, if the weights are too small, it's going to like land on the back of your wrist. You'll be holding like little teapots. The smaller kettlebells just have a smaller window. Competition kettlebells are the ones that are larger with like the more square window. And those are all the same size, but they're more dense. So they get heavier. So competition kettlebells regulate for the size, because with the hard style kettlebell, those are called soft style. So the hard style kettlebells, the ones that are more, you know, the grip gets thicker, the more standard, in my opinion. I like the hard style more. Those grips will get thicker as the kettlebell gets heavier. So you get the heavier kettlebell, you get a thicker grip. And for competition, that's why they're called competition. The other ones, it standardizes the size. So the handles are all the same. The size of the kettlebell is all the same, but they get heavier. So the 16 kilogram or the 35 pound will look the same size as the 80 kilogram or the 80 pound one. So the hard style has more of like that heart shape window, the oblong window, and those are usually get thicker with grip. So in terms of weights, generally for like females, anywhere between like the 20 and 26 pound is a good one to start, depending on what's available, 15, 20 pounds. For guys, something like the 35 pounder, 40, 44, 53. Yeah. So, you know, a great way to also do it, for example, like it depends on how much you have to spend and what you're investing in. You can always get singles. That's a great thing about kettlebell work. You don't need 2 of them. So you can really get a bunch of singles and then double up where you might need to. So understand, if you're doing, let's say, a 53 pound kettlebell and you're going to go to doubles, you don't just go, hey, 53 in both hands. It's a whole different thing. So if you're doing 53 with a single and you're going to go to doubles, you might want to go doubles with a 35 pounder, 16 kilogram, or 12 kilogram or 14 kilogram. Depends on what brand you're getting to. Sometimes there's more subcategories. They'll have more increments. So usually I would say for dudes, 35 for starting, if you're brand new, I would say a 35 is a great one. That's what I originally started with. Because if you lift generally and you have some, you know, fundamental strength, 35 pounds, you could do cleans. You're not going to jump to snatches right away. You could do cleans. You could do, you know, windmills. You could do a bunch of different exercises for the most part. Going to start with 26 to 35. Ladies a little bit lighter. But just remember, if you get a really small kettlebell, it's going to be like just a real tiny one. Depends on how big your hands are. Let's see. Gabby again. Papa Swolio, how can I keep myself accountable for my habits I'm developing every day or every week? Well, everyone has their own different methodology. I would recommend also, one, Gabby, here's a great opportunity. If you are interested, you can check out the links for the SwoleFam. You could join for less than $5, and we have a live Telegram chat. We have live calls every week. We have the private Facebook group, the Discord, so we're always chatting. You can always ask questions and hold yourself accountable. We read SwoleFam posts here on the podcast every day. If you feel like you're slipping or you have a question, so it's like instant feedback. It's a live chat going on in the Telegram all day long, so it's great to have the SwoleFam in your pocket all the time. Also, you can check out a great book that I always recommend, Atomic Habits. It's a fantastic book, which will really break down how to execute habits properly at a very small level, which is the term atomic, right? So little micro habits and how you stack them together and how you organize your day around certain habits and certain, reward pathways, and how your body or how your brain usually thinks through certain situations and how to avoid triggers and how to put yourself in a better position for success. And accountability can come in many different ways. And the reason why the SwoleFam is so great with accountability, it's because once you put yourself out there to your peers, once you make a commitment or a statement and you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. This is where I'm starting off. Wish me luck, fam. I'm ready to fucking do this. You're putting yourself out there. You're not going to let other people down, because most people are not hypocrites. They're going to be like, I'm going to do this and then do jack shit. You're saying it because you really want to do it, but you also are putting yourself out there. That way you are kind of reinforcing to yourself, okay, I can't let everyone down. I'm not going to be full of shit. I don't want people to look at me and be like, oh, he just talks the talk and doesn't do a damn thing. I said I'm going to do it, so now I'm going to fucking do it. And that's what's really important about accountability. Some people can do that with themselves very well. And a lot of times that's a learned skill. It's like building discipline. It's a skill. So you start doing that using other people if you have the proper people around you. And this is why pillar number 1, getting back to the 7 pillars, as always, pillar number 1, community. Around the holidays, a lot of times you're around family and friends and you're eating healthier and you've changed your habits over the past year or two, and people haven't seen you for a while and they give you shit and they kind of talk crap and they're like, trying to get you to eat junk food, or they get insulted, quote unquote, because you didn't eat their fucking pie. And if you don't have quality people around you that are supporting you, that are encouraging you to do better, that are on your side, it's very hard to stick with it. So it's very important to surround yourself with those positive people like the SwoleFam, and that's going to help you reinforce your own discipline, your own personal accountability, and your own integrity with yourself. Because, for example, reason why we always say fuck your resolutions every single year, it's because people make these like faux promises to themselves. They'll say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to change. This is the year. This year is the year. And then they fall off every fucking year. So they just lie to themselves. So the next time they promise themselves something, or they say to themselves they're going to do something, they don't have any integrity with their word. They don't really internally believe when they, like your own voice, you don't believe what you say. You just say words and say, well, I'm going to quit now, or I'm going to do this now. And you never really do it. So you just keep on saying bullshit and you never really stick to anything. Let's see, Tyler, if I wanted to sleep while having relaxation sounds with earbuds in for better sleep, would you say it's a safe thing to do? I wouldn't recommend, not Bluetooth. I wouldn't recommend having like your cell phone on or things like that by your bed. You can usually put your phone perhaps like in airplane mode, or if you're playing sounds, you just don't want to have like cell signal or Wi-Fi going through your brain at night. I would recommend, white noise. There's lots of white noise playlists and stuff on Spotify or anywhere. Yeah, white noise, or there's nothing wrong with some fan. We have fans on in the room. I like background noise. White noise, brown noise. People have their own preferences. Some people like to listen to rainstorms or waterfalls and stuff. I wouldn't necessarily do earbuds. One of the things that can happen with that is like you're leaning on them. One, you don't want that shit going through your head if they're wireless. You don't want wireless earbuds. But if you're sleeping on it, you wake up, your ear's going to be all sore because you're putting pressure in your ear. You're leaning on it. Also, you want to be able to hear things if something's going on. You never know if there's a fire emergency. You don't want to have like earplugs and you can't hear jack shit. Just saying, just some, maybe extreme situations, but you never know. So I would just play some white noise by your bed. Keep your phone in airplane mode. You could download the track or download the playlist or something like that. Just some thoughts. Nothing wrong with white noise. Eric, why has it got to be white? Yeah.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
I don't know. It's got to be white. The white man has colonized sounds. We've colonized audio waves. That's right. They're all ours now. Gabby, another one. Gabby's on fire today. Gabby's on fire.
He's on fire!
She's on fire. Let's see. What should I do if I have finished eating a balanced meal of complex carbs, vegetables, and protein, and I don't feel satisfied or 80% full, and I don't want to overeat, but I'm not satisfied? All right, Gabby, great questions, but it sounds like you really need to get back to the basics. Have you done an elimination diet? Complex carbohydrates, balanced meals are irrelevant. Just going to say it. A lot of people aren't going to like to hear that. Balanced meals are bullshit. Moderation, balanced, that doesn't mean anything. Work-life balance doesn't mean anything. Balanced meal doesn't mean anything. It's all about what's right for you, okay? So there's no such thing as a balanced meal, in my opinion. It depends on the individual. Now, a lot of carbs and a lot of vegetables, a lot of proteins aren't good for human consumption, depending on what you're eating. So I don't know what you're consuming. It's not that simple. I mean, it is very simple, but it's not just like, hey, I ate some protein, carbs, and fat. This is not a calorie counting approach. All right. This is about what foods you're eating, the food quality, the micronutrient density, right? Grass-fed beef, organ meats, making sure you're getting high quality animal-based nutrition. And, we need to know a little bit more about what you're doing. So have you done an elimination diet? Have you actually individualized and customized your nutrition? It doesn't sound like it, but you can follow up in the comments too. And other stuff about you, like these are just general. We need more information, like your sleep habits, what else you're doing, what else your experience is. Let's see. If you're eating grass-fed beef, you're going to be satisfied. I'll tell you that much. Eat a balanced rainbow plate. Fuck that. That's the last thing that people need. What is it? What nonsense? Eat a colorful plate. What does color have to do with anything with nutrition? What does that have to do with anything? Let's see. When's the last time you shaved your beard? I don't shave my beard. I don't know. Like, when's the last time I shaved my face? A long time. No elimination diet yet. Well, there you go. There you go. Great place to start, dude. What are you eating? Like, give us a list. Like, what's your meal? What's a balanced meal for you? What are you eating? Like, what are you eating in a day? We'll take some more questions, too. We're just taking a bunch of questions. We'll be here for a few more minutes. Let's take some more. The Martian returns 45. I'm trying to hit 225 on bench. Any tips? I feel like we've done this already. Didn't we talk about the negatives and stuff like that? I think we did this question already. Isometrics, negatives, partial reps. Making sure you're doing other things like chest dips. Dumbbell pullovers are fantastic. Negatives, force reps. Some tips right there. Oh, activating. Yeah, we did this for sure. Middle, lower trapezius, making sure you're activating your posterior rotator cuff and you're strengthening your rhomboids and your middle and lower traps. Proper form is important. Let's see. Simon Blackledge, 85. If you can't turn fat into muscle, what's the point in bulking and cutting? Well, fat doesn't turn into muscle. Your body can build muscle using energy, and your body can get energy from fat stores and from sugar. Bulking is usually just a caloric surplus, giving your body enough of the raw material so you can put your body in a positive nitrogen balance and a positive situation where it will be more in tune to build muscle tissue. If your body is in a deficit, if your body is restricted with energy intake, it's not as predisposed to building muscle. It's not the priority. Your body is going to be frantically looking for excess for energy if you're not consuming enough nutrition day by day, if you're in a deficit. So it's very, very challenging if you're not, and it's going to be impossible if you're not getting in enough protein, if you're not training hard enough. You have to be in a very slight deficit if you want to build muscle in a deficit. You can't do dramatic deficits and build tons of muscle. So the point of bulking and cutting is, one, when you're bulking, you're going to have more energy. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have a surplus of caloric intake and nutrient density. So it just provides a better environment for your body to be, anabolic, to put on muscle, to put on size. You just don't want to be in too much of a surplus, so you're not putting on too much extra body fat, because you can only build so much lean mass at a time. It also depends on your training, your sleep, and other habits. It's not just as simple as, hey, I'm going to the gym, I'm eating more food, I'm eating less food. You have to be doing the right shit at the gym. You have to be sleeping properly. You have to be eating enough protein, when you are eating enough calories consistently in a slight surplus every single day, not missing days and stuff like that. Is it possible to build some muscle in a deficit? Yeah, maybe in some situations, but it's just not ideal. And if you don't have a ton of extra body fat to lose, it's going to be much more challenging. My recommendation is to eat sufficient protein up to, depending on the individual, up to 1 gram per pound of body weight, per kilogram, maybe like 1 to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight, up to a gram per pound of body weight, up to that. There's different ways to come across that, but it depends on how hard you're training. It depends on, just your personal situation, where you're starting off from, and how your training protocols are, your nutrition, and what your goals are and such. But enough protein, and just maybe even around maintenance, or maybe a slight surplus, maybe a couple hundred calories a day. I just don't like to micromanage the calories too much and weigh every last thing. And, but you only need a few hundred extra calories a day. Most people, when they bulk, they just eat whatever and they get fat. And most people, when they cut too much and they just get emaciated and flat and exhausted. Just because fundamentally people are just playing the raw energy game, the raw calorie counting game, and they're not actually getting proper fundamental nutrition. You don't need a crazy ass surplus. You're getting tons of micronutrients. You're eating beef liver and organ meats, and you're getting in plenty of protein. You don't need a ton of a surplus. People just don't like to see, slow progress, because it's very easy just to eat too much and then gain a lot of weight and be like, the scale's going up a lot. Yeah, you're also retaining water and gaining fat too, because you're eating, a ton of extra calories. So of course you're gonna put on size, and distributed evenly over your body, a little body fat. You're like, I gained 3 pounds. Yeah, but you gained 3 pounds of fat. Oh, there you go. I'm an insomniac and considered sedentary still. So you're not getting sleep. Not getting enough sleep is one of the major red flags for all-cause mortality, for one thing. And also you'll store more fat and you'll have trouble building muscle. So you're going to have trouble losing body fat if you are not getting enough sleep. That's really not good for your body. Will be super stressed out. Sweet potato, chicken, zucchini, or eggs, bacon, oatmeal, Greek yogurt, nuts. Yeah, I would check out the elimination diet, because a lot of those things that you're eating every day are generally not recommended. For example, just for me, this is me personally, but I don't eat much chicken. I don't eat oatmeal. If you get like raw yogurt, but I don't eat generally yogurt. I don't eat nuts. This is me personally. I'm not saying for you, but a lot of these foods can cause inflammatory responses in the body, and they're not for everyone. And some people have to be a little bit more diligent with some of these foods than others. It sounds like you're not getting enough fat. You're getting some eggs. Are you eating the whole eggs, or are you eating egg whites? That kind of thing. Just some thoughts here. Are you getting in any organ meats? Are you eating grass-fed beef? I'm telling you, I always love talking about grass-fed beef, because it's such a fucking home run for nutrition. And the culture has so demonized red meat, as if red meat's like an evil thing that's going to fuck you up. If you're eating red meat and grass-fed beef, and you're focusing on that you're going to be satisfied, you're going to be full, you're going to be satiated. It solves so many problems. And those of you that have gone that direction, you realize, oh shit, it's all a lie. Oh shit, people are full of shit. Oh, this is amazing. You just fucking lose your body completely transforms. Let's see, Maxwell, do you do the 0.5 to 1 ounce per pound of body weight for water? How do you determine proper hydration? I just drink plenty of water. I don't measure it myself. Generally, you want to drink at least half your body weight in ounces. That's a great starting point. So if you're 200 pounds, 100 ounces of water, depending on your energy expenditure and how much you sweat and your climate, you might need more or less. So you have to figure out what works best for you. But I drink plenty of water. Speaking of which, I'm going to drink a little water, chug a little water right now. Yeah, I'd be very careful. I would work on your habits. I don't know what your habits are like for sleep, Gabby, but I would definitely not look for any like sleeping aids or supplements for sleep until you work on your habits. I don't know what your evening routine is like. You say you're insomniac. I have a feeling there's other lifestyle habits you can work on That would dramatically help your sleep. I would check out the book also, Why We Sleep by Matt Walker. You might get some other insights. You can also check him out on different various podcasts. Highly recommended. Maven, I'm 5'1", 56 deep in menopause, weight between 114, 118. Scale says 25% body fat. Is that bad for my height and age? I used to weigh 180 at my highest, 5'1". Let's see. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. Have you checked? I don't know what your nutrition is like. Have you checked out those episodes with Dr. Jamie Seaman on the Fundamental Health podcast? Check out her episodes on Paul Saladino's podcast, the Fundamental Health podcast, Dr. Jamie Seaman. Check that out for menopause nutrition and postmenopausal, perimenopausal, prenatal, postnatal. Fantastic episodes. I think every woman should be listening to those episodes for sure. We talk about it all the time, but check out those episodes too. Let's see, Gabby, I live with and depend on my parents, so they get me and themselves conventional, real food like all natural ground beef. Well, that's not grass-fed, but okay. All natural ground beef. That doesn't mean anything. Frozen chicken, white eggs, non-organic, fruit and vegetable. We have a budget. Well, everyone has a budget. It's just about the priorities. Healthy food isn't necessarily more expensive overall. Certain items might be seemingly more expensive, but when you're not buying all the other shit that people waste money on, you actually, in my opinion, you start saving money. You start eating a lot. You don't have to eat as much, and you're eating more nutrient-dense food. So, I mean, these are other, you see what I mean? Like, based on your first question, it's not that simple. Like, oh, I have a balanced meal. It's all about food quality and whether or not your situation, like, if you're depending on your parents, and again, if you're not in control of all this stuff, that is part of the issue. It's like you need to control what you're consuming. You need to be proactive in what you're doing, and there's a lot of loose ends that you can work on, which is good. This is good news. You can make a lot of improvements. So, you know, everyone has their own individual situation, but at the same time, the nutrition is non-negotiable, and all these other habits are very important. So I would look into the content with the elimination diet. I would look more into that and start analyzing some of the foods that you are eating, and start looking into, like we talked about, maybe some beef organ supplements. We have a lot of this kind of stuff talked about in like our Amazon store, and we talk a lot about these different, ways to beef up your nutrition. So you have white eggs. I mean, egg whites, or in other words, the food quality is absolutely paramount. Grass-fed beef, pastured eggs. I generally avoid chicken because it's very hard to get quality chicken. They're usually fed grain and soy, which definitely translates into your body. It's also going to have to come down to endocrine disruptors in your house, from shampoos and conditioners and household cleaners and, air sprays and all these different things that are, plastic containers, all these different things that are constantly exposing us to environmental toxins like phthalates, which definitely interrupt our endocrine system, which damages a lot of aspects of our reproductive function, as well as, notice how people are of all different ages are, holding unnecessary amounts of body fat. A lot of people are having issues having children nowadays. It's all because of the food. It's all because of the food in our environment, and all these different types of chemicals people are putting on their bodies all the time. So, if you come into this kind of content, you're hearing me say these things, and you've never heard this stuff before, it's just going to start being like, oh my God, it's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's just people maximizing profit. And a lot of these things that aren't properly tested or can be swept under the rug are going to be swept under the rug. People want to make a profit with these businesses, and human health is definitely not big pharma, big food, and all these different major conglomerates and these massive organizations and lobbying groups. Human health is not in these people's priority or best interest. Look at what they're doing with the vaccines and all these forced mandates. It's not about health. Nothing that's been happening in our country and our world has been about actually getting people healthier and keeping people from getting sick. It's just about getting people a shot, which is too little, too late, as we have seen over and over again. It's about proper therapeutics and proper lifestyle changes to prevent major illness from the get. And shocker, it takes a little bit more work, but people don't want to do things until it's sitting on their fucking face and it's too late and they can blame someone else for it. Nice rant there. Nice rant there. Let's get some grills. So bottom line, like if you look at this, Gabby, and I'm not trying to be negative at all. Don't take that way. But when you look at the 7 pillars, these are the 7 pillars. Okay. If you don't know, you could download your copy at swolenormousx.com. I definitely recommend it. But the 7 pillars are all things that you can control. These are things that are in your wheelhouse. They are in your ballpark. They are the balls in your court with the 7 pillars. You can control, and I'm not saying you can control all these things perfectly, but these are things that you can and should work hard to control. Your community, nutrition, training, recovery, mobility, mindfulness, and consistency. So these are all things that you can do. You can't control what other people say. You can't control what other people do. You can't control the weather. You can't control when shit hits the fan. You can't control it. You can control how you react to it. So when it comes to nutrition, food quality is paramount. So you need to be able to control that as much as possible. And like you said, you're staying at home, your parents shop and X, Y, and Z. That's an issue. Either you start cooking more, you make other recommendations, you have a budget, you get a job, like, you know, you add to it, you get more involved with the food prep. I mean, everyone's situation is different. I'm not saying you just snap your fingers and just buy different types of food, but it's very important that you are aggressively looking at food in a different light. It's not just, oh, I'm eating this and like you're wondering why you have constant food triggers. You're wondering why you don't feel satisfied. Like, this is a major thing. Your body will not feel satisfied. You will not feel really full. You will not be taking care of your shit if you're not getting the proper nutrients. You could eat all the protein and carbs and stuff that you want. You're still going to have all these cravings and triggers because you're just not fundamentally undoing the habits that you have brought upon yourself over the course of your life. Like most people, you have to, these habits, these are addictions. These foods trigger this kind of addictive response by the human body. These are not foods.
Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night.
Really, Grandpa? Really? Yeah, no one uses a record player. Understand that these habits, these things are very hard to undo because the food, fast foods, sugar, like these candies, chips, they're designed to get you to not stop. The elements that are combined with the salt, the sweet, the fat, these kinds of combinations of crunch, all these different triggers, all these different physiological triggers make it so you are always craving these foods. Once you start eating real quality food for a long time, you smell fast food, it makes you want to throw up for a reason. It's not real food. It's scary how fake that shit is and how disgusting it is. Vegetable oils, seed oils, you want to cut out all those things, processed dairy, all these different things have no business being in our bodies. They don't. My health has improved dramatically. My performance, the way I feel, Mama Swolio, my family, how many fucking members of the SwoleFam have changed. And like, I'm not just saying this to be like, this is my way, this is the right way. But for everyone that is testing these things out and trying it for themselves, and you come back like, it's legit. And it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. You're fed a fucking lie. Good pun, right? You're fed lies about needing a massively colorful plate, that you need to have every different fucking food. You need to take all these different supplements that give you every different fruit and plant in the fucking world in one powder. You don't need all that shit. You don't need apple extract. Who the fuck needs that shit? Either eat a goddamn apple. You need the nutrients. You don't need all these different particles in your body. You're not supposed to be consuming all this different shit. You need the minerals and the vitamins. You need the micronutrients in the food. You need food that's clean. You need food that's easily absorbable, easily digested. You need food that we have evolved over millennia to consume. Going balls deep on a Sunday. He's on fire. I am on fire. I am on fire. I feel like I'm on fire. Maxwell, I canceled the 15. Oh, you canceled it? Oh, is this like live? You ordering live? I canceled the 15-pound order just in time. Now there's a 16-kilogram ordered instead. LOL. I'm new to kettlebells. Is Swollen 7 the best place to start? Yeah, for the kettlebells. That's where we put the kettlebell sessions. I would definitely check that out. Yeah, I think that's much better for you. 15 pounds. If you said 15 kilograms, that would be like 33 pounds or whatever it is, or 16 kilograms, a 35 pounder. You lift, bro. You'll notice how the 35 pounder is the 16 kilogram. It's a better way to do it. It's a better choice. So what do you have now? What are you ordering now? You have A, like you have 135 and you had a 53, right? The 24 kilogram. You're going to like that a lot better. Here's the thing with kettlebells, you want to start light. So that's going to be fine. Once you get the form down right, you'll notice how your weight goes up dramatically. Once you have it's very technical. It's very technical how you hold the kettlebell, how you execute the lift, learning the new movement patterns and getting the physical and the timing. Once you get that, the weight will go up more dramatically. Same thing with the Mace bells. You'll notice once you start with the Mace bell, once you get it, you'll go up in weight more dramatically. This is why when you start building out a home gym, that shit gets expensive. Like, fuck, I have the 10-pound Mace bell. Well, now I want the 15, and then you have the 20 and the 25. Just build it up over time. I'll do a little vlog and a little video and showing you kind of like the Swole Hole gym. Been just picking up tons of equipment, just like, just fucking going all in. It's a great investment. It hurts every time. It's like, oh, another piece of equipment at the same time. It's like, it makes me happy having all the tools and having all these different methodologies. Like I love all the equipment we have. Depends on how much space. You'll see that my gym area is probably even smaller than some of your areas. So it's all about how you use it. Let's see. Maxwell, you introduced me to Mace Bell and I fucking love it. I have the 10-pound Mace, wondering if I should go to 15 or 20-pound next. Well, that is the both. That is the question. Look, if you already have a 10-pound, don't jump. You might be able to jump to 20, but it might still be heavy. I would just go 15. Trust me, when you first start doing Mace Bell, it is intensive on the joints too. Like you're a new stress, you're adding different torque to the joints and the wrist and the grip strength. I mean, you should get both at some point. You should get, look, here's the way I started. I got a 20-pound Mace. Someone had one on offer up and it was a little bit, maybe $5 or $10 more than it was online. I was like, I just want it today. So I went and bought it. Then I was like, shit, that was just too heavy. I didn't have the form down right. So then I went online, I got like the 10, the 15, and I practiced. So now, for example, once you get up to like the 20 or 25 or whatever you're doing, the 10, you'll do one arm with the 10. I start warming up with one arm with the 10. It's great. Like they never not get used. You just start out, you pick up the 10, do a couple rounds, like, move a little bit, do a single arm, and then you go up to the 15 and 20. Like I don't just pick up a 25 or 30 Mace and like, yeah, start swinging. You got to warm up. So yeah, if the 10-pound, so it's the same thing. So the Mace bells are the same thing as kettlebells. The light one will be really awkward. It'll be heavy. You'll get sore. You'll be like, oh my God, what the fuck was that? And all of a sudden, snap your fingers. All of a sudden you'll have the form and I'm telling you, all of a sudden it'll be manageable and light, quote unquote light. Your neuromuscular adaptation, your strength, your grip, your coordination, because when you're doing a Mace bell or kettlebell, you're fighting. It's not like you're not used to the movement. So the Mace bell, you're kind of fighting and resisting. You don't have that proper body positioning, that core control. So you're kind of, you're off timing. So the Mace bell's swinging and you're bending and it's just a lot of tension around your body because it's a new movement. But once you have it, you're all relaxed and just kind of whipping it. And it's just like riding a bike. After a while, you're not shaking and wobbling. You just have it. So once you have that coordination, it's more coordination than strength. And that is called neuromuscular coordination. Then the strength will come and then you go heavier and heavier. So now I have up to 35 pounds with a Mace. I'm waiting for a 45 pounder to come back in stock for like super heavy swings. But the 35, that's a beast. And I have steel clubs that go up to 45 too. Shit's hard. It's fun. It's fun to have different tools and things to swing and to sling. Lifting weights is great, just like standard lifting, but I love doing Mace bells and clubs and kettlebells more than I integrate it with the body. Well, you guys see the training programs and stuff. Carb Maven, we got the same people just repping out questions today. We got some good conversations with the Carb Maven. We got Maxwell in the house. Let's get some round of applause for the live questions. You guys are good questions. Papa Swole, I'm very clumsy with poor balance. Is a Mace bell a bad idea then? I'm not going to say a Mace bell is a bad idea. Balance isn't going to be a concern. You're not going to have to worry about balance. I mean, you should be practicing yoga and you're going to get the coordination. Clumsy? I don't think it's a bad idea. You mean like you're going to hit yourself? Like you can. You could also get a 5-pound mace, which is shorter and smaller, but you can get that and just kind of get used to it. It's great for stretching. To have the 5-pounder, just move it behind your head. You can grab with the other arm and just kind of move and swing it and just kind of like a little twig. So you can get a 5 or a 10-pound mace. I don't think mace is a bad idea for anyone. Like you're not gonna. I mean, you can really hurt yourself. It's a fucking metal shaft with a ball at the end. Yeah, it's a big old.
Because.
But, this will help you get less clumsy. Just saying, like any kind of weight, you can pick up dumbbells and drop them on your foot. Mace bell, you can hit yourself with it. Sometimes if you don't get your arms, like I've had it happen, I'll swing and I'll be kind of stiff and rusty and like, oh, I just kind of get a bad swing at the start and kind of like, nicks the top of my back. Just kind of like the bar rubs, boom. It doesn't hurt or anything. I'm worried about breaking stuff. My space is small. Well, that's a concern. So if you have a low ceiling and you're swinging shit, like, yeah, you might hit shit. That's definitely possible. I would recommend doing it outside. What you can do is maybe look into steel clubs or Indian clubs because they're smaller and you can like hold one and do halos and stuff. And you can like, you can get 3 or 4 pounders or 5 pounders and do other stuff that don't need as much space. Let's see. I almost took out my feet when I did the figure eights the first time. How tall are you? Like 5'10", 5'11"? You almost took out your feet. Don't swing it by your feet. You swing it in front of your feet. And that's another thing. When you get heavier. So for example, if you're doing, so the 20s are one thing, but if you start going 25, 30 with like a figure eight, like because the ball is bigger at the end. So if you go like with a swing, it might be light or easy with the 10 or 15 or 20, but then you go heavier and you have to like lift your arms up. You either need like an elevation or you have to choke up a little bit on the mace just because you might hit the ground. Joe, I got a new 20-pound mace and kept hitting my ass on the downswing. Oh, for the halos, just doing the swing? It's probably because you are not getting your elbows up enough. So if you're more like this, you're probably going to arch your back and the circle is going to be a little bit inconsistent. It's going to be like wobbling more. So you might hit yourself every other couple turns. But you get used to it. You get used to hitting yourself in your ass. Well, that's why you could do lower pendulums. So for example, if you're doing the figure eight, all you have to do is like just practice the lower part. So you have the figure eight and just kind of swing, just swing it down. Just do the downward portion of the pendulum. And you could also do the upward portion of the pendulum. Like that's one of the first exercises that you do with the mace bell is just a pendulum. You use your core just to swing it back and forth and get that pendulum swing because that lengthens the long head of your triceps. That lengthens your lats, your chest, your scapula, your shoulder girdle. It gets you a little bit more mobilized. And then you can just tie these pieces in together. Yeah, well, if you started with 20 pounds, again, Joe, this is seriously, even for me, training like my whole fucking life, I got 20 pounds. I started with a 20 pounder. It was too heavy. I didn't have the coordination, the technique. It was just too much to practice on from the start. But I went to the 10, the 15, then, oh, okay, now I got it. And then I went up to the 20 pound. I went up to the 20 pound in no time. It was just, you want to go light enough to get the technique like anything else. It's like, hey, I've never done this before. Cool, let's max out. It's stupid. You're just going to fucking hurt yourself. Because if you've never done it before and your elbows, your tendons, your ligaments, your grip, like you don't have all these things working and having developed, like the tendons and ligaments in your elbows, like that, you can definitely get some overload and overwork and overuse injuries if you're not progressing properly. I got that myself. I had a little bit of inflammation in my elbow just because I was going so hard and I was doing like a lot of single arm halos every day and I did a little bit too much too soon. Even over the course of a few months, it was just too much of a progression. It takes time for these kinds of dense connective tissues to build resilience, and you can definitely overdo it. Tyler, how much nutrient foods can I buy with a small budget? I have no idea. That's very vague, and I don't know what your budget is, where you are. Which choices should you make? I would make sure you're getting some organ meats, get some beef liver, and get some grass-fed ground beef. If you have a budget, the best thing that you can do is get some grass-fed ground beef. $5, $6 a pound. And then you can cook in beef tallow, which is inexpensive. You can also opt for getting some grass-fed beef liver or maybe just a supplement if you don't have access to it. But if you want like solid proteins, and really like quality, grass-fed ground beef is fantastic. And here's the thing, when people say, I can't eat healthy, I eat sweet potatoes. Talk about countering the price of grass-fed beef. So you're getting grass-fed beef, you're getting $5, $6, $7. You might be like, oh my God, it's so expensive. Yeah, but sweet potatoes are 70 cents a pound, $1 a pound. So you're getting a lot of sweet potatoes. You're getting a lot of value for the price. So it balances itself out. This is what I'm usually saying. People are buying $4 or $5 bags of Doritos, family size. Yeah, you could spend $5 on a bag of fucking family size Doritos or get a pound of grass-fed beef. Which one's more nutrient dense? Which one's a better choice? Exactly. So you're buying soda. You're not buying soda. You're not buying canned shit. You're not buying, like, what else are you buying at the supermarket? Think about what people normally spend money on. If people stop using some of the shit that's like fucking them up, like dryer sheets, and like, you don't need dryer sheets. You shouldn't be putting wax all over your fucking stuff and phthalates and fragrances all over your clothes. Like, you're saving money on that. You're saving money on other products. You're not using Febreze and spraying chemicals in the air. So add that towards grass-fed beef. A lot of people spend shit or money on shit that they shouldn't be fucking using, and that can go towards quality food. There you go. Can't wait to have a whole row of Mace and kettlebells. I don't want to make you jealous, man. I'm going to show a picture of... I might actually be getting rid of a couple kettlebells. I have a few competition kettlebells that I never use. I'm very hesitant always to sell shit, but I'm like, all right, maybe I'll sell it. Maybe I'll sell a couple things. Because, like, I just don't use them. It's always like, I might use them. I could. Yeah, but I don't. Let's see, Base Bunny Love. How much space is needed to do a Mace bell? Can you do it in a small apartment? You can. You need a ceiling. How high is your ceiling? You might need 3 or 4 feet easily over your head, maybe more. It's hard to say. I mean, you need a higher ceiling. You might like getting Indian clubs, like 1 or 2 pound Indian clubs that you can swing for your shoulders. You don't need a lot of space for that. But if you're swinging, it depends on how tall you are and how high your ceilings are. Fat to Fit Gabby, I'm going to be honest. I've been a lazy ass for a long time now. I want to begin to develop discipline. How should I do this? What should be my first steps to becoming disciplined? I would check out that book, Gabby. Look, and no offense, it just sounds like you're all over the place. It sounds like, I know you want to do it, but it sounds like you're all over the place. You need to get centered. You need to really focus on one thing at a time. 2 things. Check the links below. Go to swolenormousx.com. Go to our website. You don't have to join. I'm not trying to get you to, but download the 7 pillars. You'll see the ebook. There's 3 parts. You get an audio book. You get the 7 pillars, and you get the Beyond 7 Pillars ebook. That's a great place to start. Also, so check that out. It's a great read, and it'll get you in the right framework, in the right frame of mind. Then check out the book Atomic Habits, and then figure out what you want to do. And then you'll be able to attack these things systematically. And if you have any other questions, feel free to come back on the show and talk more about it. Joe, do you think select weight kettlebells are worth it, or single weight kettles? Select weight, is that like when you adjust it? I've never used them. It depends on how they're made, I would say. You don't want things moving or clinking around. I mean, it needs to look like a kettlebell. You don't want just like weights or plates. I'd have to see the product, and for me, there's no replacement for actual like a fucking kettlebell. For me, select weight depends on how they are. I'm sure there are some that are better than others, but I want a kettlebell that's a fucking piece of fucking iron for me. They're like, again, it comes down to more expensive. So think about that. So it's like you buy power blocks. You get up to 90 pounds, maybe $500 or $600. Fraction of the price for getting individual dumbbells. Less space, but at the same time, there's certain benefits to having dumbbells. Like, you can't do certain exercises efficiently with power blocks. So they're good for certain things and not good for other things. So there's a reason why getting a whole set of dumbbells is more expensive, because it's more material, but it's also, you just pick up a weight and do it, and they're solid and they're fixed. You could drop them, you can move them, and you have open space on the sides of the dumbbells. These like blocks that have to be. I love power blocks. I have my own set of power blocks, but I've been building out individual dumbbells for certain exercise, like forearm stuff I like to do. So I got a set of power blocks, and I've just been getting the increments of individual dumbbells. I have up to 30 right now, and I'm probably going to skip. After getting up to 30 pounds with dumbbells, I'll probably skip and get a pair of like 50s and a pair of like 60s or 70s over time, Maybe like a pair of like 125s. Just like those are like $400, super expensive. Like one real heavy set just for like rows or chest press or something like that. Make your own piece. Are you talking to me? Make your own piece like the one I posted in the Telegram. Are you talking to me? What'd I say? My own piece of what? Was it something that I said? I don't know if you were talking to me, Eric. I forget what I said. Papa Swolio, what platform would you recommend to get organic reach? I've been a content creator for a while and YouTube might not be it. TikTok. Organic reach? I mean, depends on if your content's really good. You can still grow on YouTube. This is really hard. That's because their ad platform's so developed. And any of these platforms, like when you have a fully developed ad platform, they limit organic reach to incentivize you. Plus, because there's so many damn people, you can't just show everyone's content. You have to be like, all right, you're going to bias towards people that are paying you a couple $1,000s a month. So then organic reach dwindles and you got to pay to play. So TikTok. I'm still banned until fucking Tuesday. What a terrible time to be banned. I'm like, hardcore fuck your resolution season. It's like, boo. Tuesday I get to post again. What the fuck is Clapper? What is Clapper? God. TikTok for sure. I wouldn't worry about Clapper. I haven't heard of Clapper, or it sounds vaguely familiar. So TikTok for sure. Maybe Clapper. Don't forget, TikTok was Musical.ly for like 3 or 4 years before it actually turned into TikTok and got bought and transformed. So these things take years to kick up. It's a generic TikTok. Yeah, well. Papa Swolio, make your own line of kettlebells and sell them. No need to do that. There are plenty of companies that do it well. Most of these kettlebells out there, a lot of them are just made and stamped. Depends on where they're made. But I don't have any need to make my own line of kettlebells. There's so many great brands out there. There's a bunch of great companies. Rogue makes great ones. You can pick them. You know, the thing is you'll pay for shipping, but they're quality. The E-coat ones are really good. I have a couple of the E-coat ones. They're nice and smooth, and they really rotate really nice. High quality. Great Lakes Gearia makes some great ones up in Toronto, I believe they are, or nearby. If you're in Canada, that's a great place to order from. They have free shipping on some of their stuff right now. Great Lakes Gearia, Girya. They have a lot of Mace bells, and they have steel clubs and stuff too. Yeah, right, Matthew. Gym equipment is like firearms. You buy but never sell. That's what I'm saying. Make your own equipment way cheaper? Yeah, sometimes. Like if you make your own equipment, it depends on what you're making. The thing is, if you know how to make it and you're using things properly, it can be beneficial. Other times, you're just spending a lot of money and time when you can. Here's the thing. If I could make a piece of equipment for $100, all right, let's say it was $100 and I had to go to Home Depot and make it and weld it or hammer it together or bolt it or whatever. It's like that kind of time is not worth it. I'd rather spend $200 or $300 and just have it made and shipped to my house and boom, it's ready to go. And if something's fucked up, they'll send me another one. So it's like, I just kind of, it depends on what it is, but I'll look at the time cost and it's like, no, it's not worth it. I mean, here's the thing. I have some great stuff for home gym that I'm going to be posting up. I got a great belt squat. I'm actually getting another belt squat, but I have this belt squat that's really good. It's just not going to be able to be heavy enough. There's only a single post, but it's great for donkey calf raises off a rack. It's fucking phenomenal. What a great buy. So, you know, it's all about knowing kinesiology and knowing what will work best and, you know, knowing good equipment when you see it. A lot of times there's a lot of sleepers out there that most people don't recognize. One of the things I will say for a home gym is a belt squat, because here's the thing. When you are at a home gym, there are not many exercises that you can do for legs that are supremely taxing. So for example, for a home gym, you know, usually it's a full squat, you know, front squat or a back squat, or you're doing a Bulgarian split squat. You're holding weights. You are racking on your shoulders. Like leg workouts take a lot out of people because you're using your total body. So that's why a lot of people use hack squats or they use leg press at gyms. But at home, what heavy leg exercises can you do? What kettlebell swings? That's very taxing. And these are all great, but a lot of times they'll take you out for a couple of days. Like how do you train hard, but then recover faster by not, physiologically overloading your body too much? Like squatting 315 for sets, that's going to take you out for a few days rather than just doing something isolation for quads or for glutes or something like that. So how do you isolate certain body parts and aid in recovery? So when you're training at home, there's really no leg exercise that you can do that's not physiologically exhausting, except for belt squats. It takes the pressure off your upper body and focuses all on your quads. And it's fucking fantastic. It's fantastic. So I have so this belt squat that I got was like $220. Free shipping is fantastic. And I'm going to get another one that's able to be loaded heavier. Fucking unreal. Worth every penny. But this is even better for donkey calf raises. This is great. Fantastic. Yeah, it's really hard to sell equipment. Really hard to sell equipment. Really hard to sell equipment. I find. So a lot of times I'm just like, oh, I like to have it. I like to keep it. Like to keep it. You never know. You never know. But yeah, if you've never done belt squats, they're great. You can get a nice, simple arm for your squat rack, and it's fantastic. It's great because it isolates your lower body, doesn't destroy your upper body too, allows you to go super heavy and recover fast. And especially if you're doing multiple leg workouts a week, you can isolate your quads on one day and focus more on glutes and hams the next day. Steven, can I get to go to the fucking gym for my birthday? You can, Steven. Go to the fucking gym, Steven. You goddamn jabroni. All right, Kim, I received all kinds of weights for Christmas. People asked me what I want and said weights. They all bought me some form of weights, balls, dumbbells, etc. Excellent. Fan-fucking-tastic, fam. All right, we have an announcement on Wednesday. I got to talk about this. Wednesday, we have our Swole Year release party. It's going to be fire. Be there. Members only. Make sure you're ready for that this Wednesday, December 29th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday, December 29th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there. It will be lit. We have major releases. Don't go anywhere. Be there. Tomorrow's episode. Tomorrow we usually have our accountability meeting on Monday. This week we are having our private event on Wednesday. So tomorrow we're going to have a regular live show and we're going to have some fun tomorrow. Usually we're private on Mondays, but this week because we have our major release event on Wednesday, we're going to do it on Wednesday. So tomorrow live show, standard, always goes like this for those special weeks where we have a major release party. Like we did with Back to Swole, like we did with Balls Deep for Summer, and Swole Year Release Party is no different. This Wednesday, December 29th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there, motherfuckers. Be there. Be there. You're still talking about belt squat. I'm telling you, this one that I got, $200, free shipping. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Some people like making their own shit. Some people like making their own shit, but rarely does it work as, if it's properly machined, but it depends on what it is. So if you're saving a ton of money and you kind of like doing it, some people like, nerding out and making their own, but you get what you pay for in many cases. So just be safe, make sure you're not cutting any corners. But one of the cool things about racks and fundamental equipment is just like lever arms. It's just an arm that pivots, especially like a belt squat. You attach it, you bolt it to something, and it just like swings up and down. It's really simple to make if you are so inclined. So just be safe out there. Don't break your ass over it. I made mine at work, so I got paid to do it. I'm a machinist. Oh, yeah, well, there you go. If you know how to fucking... All right, there you go. There you go. If you know what you're doing and you know how to do it, that's why you're saying I just make it myself. It's like, don't fucking do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, people. Unless you know what you're doing. Last thing look, there's certain things that you don't want to fuck around with if it's going to like risk your life. But a belt squat is pretty simple to make. So if you know what you're doing and there's a really low risk, you're not putting something on your back or yeah, it's cool. Well, someone's got to make this shit, right? So good stuff. Good stuff. I'll have to show you all and send you a link because this one belt squat. Like I said, it was on sale right now, free shipping. It was like $219, and it's really great for most people. It's going to be perfect. So if you have a squat rack, it's fantastic. Bolts right on. It's like, for that price, it's just to not have to do anything. Excellent. Anyway, if you like to make it, cool. If not, I will post some links and I'll show you guys some stuff. All right, we got a Swole card FYR to give away. Let's do that. We got ourselves a winner. Fuck your resolutions. It is Joe Sigmund. Congratulations. FYR. Fuck your resolutions. Little gorillas. Congratulations, J-Bone. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, SwoleCard 2060 in the subject, and your mailing address in the body of the email. Very fucking nice. Very nice.
Dodson, we've got Dodson here.
There you go, Joe. Congratulations. Send us that email, and we'll get you this Swole card. Absolutely fantastic. Lovely, 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 lovely. All right, fam, let us nut this beesh, and we'll get on with our day. We'll go make some sick fucking games, get some snow on your nips or some sun on your nips. Whatever it is, we will see you back here tomorrow for 2060 Schwam for another amazing episode. Remember, we have our SwoleFam Swole Year release party coming up on Wednesday, so don't miss out on that. Fucking fantastic. We're gonna have to do some home gym tours and show everyone what we got going on. Eric's over here fucking Iron Manning shit up, just welding in his garage. That's what we do. Home gym, the SwoleFam home gym fam. Nothing like it.
This house is a fucking prison on planet bullshit! In the galaxy of this sucks camel dick!
Oh, we got some stuff coming out. We got some amazing shit coming up on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to our release party. It is time. It is time to get this fucking 2022 started off right. No more fucking excuses. No more excuses. No more excuses, Beesh.
You made me happy.
Oh yeah. Fancy pants. Oh yeah. You should dance. It's exciting times. Fucking nailed it. He's on fire.
He's on fire!
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kid used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it would trade and then watch the hair come back up again.
Let's go, Beaches. Go enjoy those maces. Go get your kettlebell on. We had a great show today. Great Q&A. Great Q&As. It's fantastic. It's on the hips. No hands. All right. Fan-fucking-tastic. Fam, make sure you are checking us out. We talked a lot about the 7 pillars. We talked a lot about joining the fam today and getting started with your yoga, your kettlebell, your Mace bell journey, your programs, 90-day dash, Swole season, scorched earth, Swole mastery, amazing content that we have inside X. We have everything you need to crush your fitness this year. And why wait until January 1st? It's coming no matter what you do. Make those habitual changes now. Start today. And check us out, SwoleNormousX.com. And we'll continue this conversation inside our Telegram chat, shall we, fam? And we'll see you tomorrow for 2060 Schwam public stream. Again, on Wednesday, we will have our private session. So Wednesday, December 29th, 6 p.m., we will have our live meeting. Tomorrow, we will be back here live for another stream. And we'll see you then. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, chill. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Our topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making